And the story begins beneath the shimmering lights of a city that never truly sleeps, where whispers become headlines and grace becomes a form of strength. As Blake Lively stands not as a figure in chaos, but as a woman reclaiming her story with the same poise that made her a beloved icon. Her journey unfolds like a film painted with laughter, challenge, elegance, and courage. She speaks softly in interviews about the noise that comes with fame, about the stories that swirl beyond her control, and how choosing kindness is sometimes the hardest thing to do when the world expects anger. She reminds us that truth is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet, steady, unwavering, like the calm after a storm. Her presence radiates the kind of confidence that grows only from self-knowledge. She has learned to separate who she is from what people say she is, and that is where her power begins. The camera moves through time, showing flashes of her early days on set, wide-eyed and ambitious, working long hours learning from veterans who saw her potential. She recalls how her passion for storytelling came from wanting to connect, from understanding that performance is not just glamour, but empathy. The ability to feel for others, and through that empathy, she built not just a career, but a legacy. Her fashion sense became an extension of her artistry. Every red carpet appearance not just an outfit, but a statement of individuality and creativity. She often styles herself, proving that intuition can outshine trends and that fashion is a language of confidence. Her choices, bold and elegant, made her a muse for many. But more than that, they reflected a spirit that was never afraid to take risks. The narration glides gently over her milestones, films that captured hearts, television that defined eras, projects that celebrated both beauty and wit. Yet the story is not only about her success, it is about her humanity. The unseen layers beneath the perfection, the quiet resilience that turns scrutiny into art and art into empowerment. The scene transitions seamlessly to other voices of strength. Women who echo her message, Taylor Swift, standing on stage, her words sharp yet soothing, singing about lessons learned through fire. Her journey, from teenage songwriter to global phenomenon, mirrors the essence of reinvention. She turned heartbreak into harmony, criticism into creativity. Her friendship with Blake, a reminder that solidarity among women in fame is not competition but kinship. Zendaya enters the frame. Graceful and self-assured, her smile radiating wisdom beyond her years. She speaks about balance, about staying grounded in an industry built on illusion. Her rise from childhood television to award-winning actress proves that authenticity can thrive even under the harshest spotlight. She walks with purpose in every step, her confidence a message to young girls everywhere that you can define your worth. No matter what the world expects from you, the story weaves through moments of shared humanity. Beyoncé, rehearsing for a show, her discipline unwavering, her artistry unmatched. She reminds us that greatness is not gifted. It is earned through sleepless nights and endless dedication. Her story intersects with Rihanna, whose empire spans music, fashion, and philanthropy. She redefined success by creating spaces for everyone through inclusivity, through vision, her generosity extending beyond fame into real-world change. Each of these women becomes a reflection of what Blake herself stands for, not perfection but progress. The narration then widens to include other artists across the globe, from BTS, speaking to millions about self-love and unity. Their music becoming a language of healing, to Blackpink, whose energy empowers young fans to be fearless in their expression. They carry the same flame of creativity that burns beyond borders, their artistry, proving that fame can unite rather than divide as their songs echo. The scene softens to reveal Blake. Once more walking through New York, her steps measured, her gaze thoughtful. She talks about choosing peace over panic, understanding that life is a series of narratives, and sometimes you have to write your own. She acknowledges that fame can distort truth, but it can also magnify love, and when she looks at her family, her friends, her fans, she realizes that the noise fades but connection remains. The narrator's tone shifts to warmth, saying that in a world obsessed with spectacle, grace becomes rebellion, and Blake Lively embodies that rebellion. She speaks of compassion as strength, of empathy as courage, and her story becomes a beacon for anyone who has ever been misunderstood, reminding them that calm is not weakness, it is mastery. And through her example, we learn that resilience is not about fighting every battle, but about knowing which ones matter. The film glides now to glimpses of charity events, award shows, candid laughter behind the scenes, moments that capture the sincerity. Behind the glamour, we see Selena Gomez opening up about her own journey, her advocacy for mental health, her transparency helping millions feel less alone. Demi Lovato's voice follows strong and soulful, her message of recovery and hope weaving. Through the melody of perseverance, their words echo Blake's own philosophy. That vulnerability is not a flaw, but a foundation that through honesty, we find healing, and through healing, we find connection. The camera pans to Zendaya, once again her style effortless. Her eyes calm as she says that representation is not just about visibility, but about belonging. That every step she takes on a runway or red carpet is for those who once felt unseen. Her confidence mirrors Blake's quiet strength, proving that authenticity will always outlast rumor. The narrative expands to capture Rihanna, Beyoncé, Taylor, Zendaya, Selena Demi, and countless others, all shaping the definition of fame into something deeper, something meaningful. Fame as a force for unity rather than division. And as the music rises, the screen fills with faces of fans around the world. Their smiles, their tears, their art, their energy, showing that the relationship between stars and admirers is more than admiration. It is reflection. It is shared humanity. The narrator says softly that celebrities are not gods. They are mirrors of our dreams, our hopes, our flaws. And that those who choose grace teach us how to carry ourselves in a chaotic world. And as the scene closes, the light around Blake glows brighter, her figure turning into silhouette. Her words floating like a promise that truth does not need proof when it lives in integrity, and that grace will always outshine gossip. Her story becomes not an ending, but an invitation to believe in kindness again. And as the lights of the city fade into the soft glow of dawn, the story carries forward with a rhythm like the heartbeat of hope and the warmth of understanding, where Blake Lively's voice blends into the chorus of those who have found power. Through grace and the ability to stay calm in chaos, she reflects on how fame is not a prize, but a mirror showing both brilliance and fragility. She remembers moments when her words were taken out of context, when her kindness was questioned, when silence felt like the only safe language. Yet she learned that silence can also speak volumes. It can say, "I choose peace." It can say, "I know my truth." And as she navigated those moments, she found comfort in the creative process, designing fashion that tells a story that uplifts rather than competes, that celebrates confidence without shouting it. Her love for self-expression turned into a quiet revolution. Each outfit, each pose, each color choice became part of a narrative about individuality. And joy, the narrator's tone grows warmer, weaving her story into a broader tapestry of stars who have faced the spotlight with similar grace. Taylor Swift appears again, her pen like a sword, her words carving meaning into melodies she too has faced the distortions of fame but turned them into art. Her music, a diary of courage written in rhythm. She and Blake share laughter, friendship, and understanding, knowing that behind every rumor is a real person who deserves compassion and respect. From there, the story flows into Zendaya's world of art, fashion, and advocacy, where she uses her influence to speak on equality, creativity, and kindness. Her style understated yet powerful, her presence magnetic yet humble, her every move reminding fans that authenticity is timeless. The narrative widens to reveal actors, musicians, and models from around the world who carry the same torch of inspiration. We see Timothée Chalamet navigating his career with introspection and grace, blending art and vulnerability. We watch Dua Lipa turning music into empowerment, her performances glowing with freedom and fire. Each one of them shaping the idea that fame is not about perfection, but about passion. The narrator's voice, smooth and cinematic, carries us next to Asia, where BTS stand as global symbols of unity. Their message of self-love transcending language barriers. They speak about resilience, about the power of togetherness, and how fame becomes meaningful only when it serves connection. In the same thread, Blackpink blaze across stages with confidence and camaraderie, showing that strength can be feminine and fierce, that individuality can thrive within teamwork, and their influence becomes a force that bridges cultures, inspires millions, and defines what modern celebrity truly means. From there, the light shifts to Rihanna, whose empire is not just about beauty but inclusivity. Her brand built on the belief that everyone deserves to feel seen. She once said that success means nothing if it doesn't lift others, and her life embodies that truth. Her voice echoes softly into the story of Beyoncé, who transforms performance into poetry. Every stage, a sermon of excellence, every lyric, a lesson in dedication. She shows that artistry is not about applause, but about purpose. The story breathes in rhythm with these icons who, through talent, empathy, and perseverance, redefine the meaning of fame. The narrator glides back to Blake, standing in quiet reflection her journey, a tapestry of grace, resilience, and creative joy. She smiles as she speaks about balance, how being both a mother and an artist taught her that fulfillment does not come from outside validation, but from living authentically, from nurturing love, family, creativity, and kindness. She mentions her husband Ryan Reynolds not as a co-star but as a partner in laughter and support, their humor and warmth inspiring fans worldwide to believe that joy and partnership can coexist even in the public eye. And as they walk red carpets together, there is an energy that feels genuine, unforced, radiant. The film continues to flow into the stories of other power couples who inspire hope. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen spreading love and laughter through honesty. David and Victoria Beckham balancing glamour with grounded family values. Each pair adding a note to the Song of Fame that is not about perfection, but about unity. From there, the camera pans to scenes of charity and purpose, where Blake and countless others dedicate time to causes close to their hearts, from education and equality to environmental protection and humanitarian aid. The narrator explains that behind every star is often a heart deeply connected to the world's struggles. These acts of service become quiet testaments to their humanity. We see Angelina Jolie in refugee camps speaking softly with children. We see Leonardo DiCaprio advocating for the planet using his platform for change. We see Selena Gomez building mental health foundations to create safe spaces for those in need. And all of these stories merge like rivers flowing into one great ocean of empathy, their kindness shining brighter than fame itself. The narration grows more emotional, describing how this generation of celebrities is transforming the very idea of influence, making it less about image and more about impact. And Blake Lively stands among them as a symbol of how to stay centered, graceful, and true, even when the winds of speculation try to shake your ground. Her story reminds us that the most powerful evidence of character is not in words, but in actions. And she continues to live that truth with quiet conviction. The scene transitions into moments of laughter behind the scenes. Stories of humanity where stars trip, stumble, and laugh, reminding us that glamour is only one layer beneath it all. They are simply people trying to do their best to create, connect, and inspire. The tone grows uplifting and cinematic. The narrator, describing the magic that happens when art meets authenticity, when fame meets empathy, and when truth becomes the light that guides through misunderstanding. The world of celebrities becomes not a circus of drama, but a gallery of dreams, resilience, and beauty woven together in one collective story. And as part 2 closes, the camera fades to Blake once again standing by a window, her reflection merging with the city lights and her voice gentle yet firm, saying that no matter what others may say, the only story that truly matters is the one you tell yourself. And with that, the music swells softly, like the heartbeat of hope, reminding us that grace will always be the most powerful statement of all. And as the golden light of afternoon filters through clouds, painting everything in warmth, the story continues to unfold with the same quiet rhythm of reflection and grace, where Blake Lively stands as a symbol of calm in a world of constant noise. She looks out at the horizon and the narration begins again, tracing her journey through creativity, motherhood, and advocacy. She speaks about how balance is never perfect, but always intentional, that every decision in her life, from the roles she chooses to the causes she supports, carries a piece of her heart and her purpose. Her voice, soft yet steady, becomes a meditation on growth, on what it means to stay kind in a business built on opinion and illusion. And as her story moves forward, the camera sweeps through the lives of others who have turned their pain into purpose. Selena Gomez appears once again, her face illuminated by the soft glow of stage lights as she performs a song about resilience, her voice trembling, yet powerful. She talks about the weight of expectation and how she learned to measure success not in fame, but in peace. She says that the truest form of beauty is being real, and her words feel like an echo of Blake's own philosophy. The scene transitions into Zendaya on a film set. Her laughter contagious as she discusses the joy of collaboration. She reflects on the importance of creating spaces where young women of color can thrive, reminding us that representation is not just about being seen, but about feeling valued. Her poise mirrors Blake's warmth. Their journeys distinct yet connected by the same thread of authenticity. The story flows like a melody from one soul to another. Taylor Swift stands next, bathed in the light of 1,000 phones at one of her sold-out shows, her fans singing every word back to her. She smiles, knowing that what began as small poems written in her bedroom became anthems for millions. She speaks about forgiveness, about reclaiming your story after misunderstanding, about growing past resentment, and her words form bridges between hearts, showing how vulnerability can heal both the artist and the audience. From there, the narrator takes us to London, where Dua Lipa rehearses for a tour, her determination radiating. From every movement, she talks about discipline, about showing up even when it's hard, about how the dance between fear and ambition is where true creativity lives. The rhythm of her steps feels like a heartbeat, syncing with the message of perseverance that pulses through this documentary. And then to Paris, where Timothée Chalamet walks through cobblestone streets, reflecting on fame as both a gift and a test. He speaks about learning to stay grounded, to hold on to curiosity and humility in a world that often demands performance, even off-screen. His words blend seamlessly with those of others, creating a collage of thoughts that define modern celebrity not as a pedestal, but as a platform for connection and empathy. The film continues to move fluidly across continents, showing how artists of every kind, from musicians to athletes, from actors to activists, are united by a shared humanity. The narrator describes the vibrant streets of Seoul, where BTS connect with fans through music and meaning their message of love yourself, not just a slogan, but a philosophy. They live by their unity as a group representing friendship, respect, and creative evolution. They remind us that fame can be used to spread positivity, to bridge cultures, to make kindness fashionable once more. And then the focus drifts to Blackpink, their choreography fierce, their camaraderie effortless, their influence monumental. They inspire millions of young people to be bold, to be fearless, to be unapologetically themselves, and their energy becomes part of the larger mosaic of celebrity influence that this story celebrates from. There we see Rihanna, her laughter filling a room as she prepares for another creative project. Her duality of strength and softness, a reminder that leadership can be nurturing. She continues to build empires rooted in inclusivity, her vision changing the landscape of fashion and beauty, while her heart stays connected to philanthropy. She says that the real goal is to make everyone feel seen, to make people feel beautiful for who they are, not who they're told to be. Her words drift into the world of Beyoncé, who appears next in an ethereal sequence of rehearsal footage. Her precision unmatched, her focus inspiring. She talks about legacy, about how her art is a letter to her children, a promise that purpose is greater than fame, that intention is greater than recognition. And her story harmonizes with Blake's gentle reminder that what you create with love lasts longer than any headline. The narration then moves toward stories of humanitarian spirit. Angelina Jolie seen speaking to communities around the world, her compassion evident, her grace quiet yet powerful. She reminds us that the world becomes better when those with platforms use them for empathy. Leonardo DiCaprio stands next, his eyes fixed on a vast ocean, talking about the urgency of environmental protection. His voice steady and passionate, proving that fame means nothing if it does not contribute. To change, these moments of advocacy weave through the narrative, showing how the modern celebrity is both artist and activist, performer and philanthropist. Each step taken toward kindness, shaping the story of fame into something hopeful. The lens returns to Blake, lively, surrounded by laughter, children, and color, her presence radiant. She talks about motherhood as her greatest role, about learning from her kids, how to be present, how to see the world with new eyes. She says that life is not about control, but connection, and that the best thing fame can give you is the ability to amplify love. Her message resonates beyond the screen, echoing into living rooms and hearts around the world, reminding viewers that gentleness is a form of strength. The narrator's voice grows softer as scenes of fans fill the screen. Young artists painting, singing, writing, inspired by these figures who show them what resilience looks like. The documentary becomes less about fame and more about humanity, a reminder that behind every glamorous photo is a heartbeat. Behind every performance is a story. Behind every smile is courage. And as the sequence closes, we return to Blake standing before a sea of lights, her eyes reflecting both vulnerability and triumph. She whispers that the truth is not always about defending yourself. Sometimes it's about living so authentically that the truth speaks for you. And as the music swells and the frame begins to fade, the narrator says that grace is not just the way you walk, but the way you rise, the way you forgive, the way you move forward. And in that moment, Blake Lively and all the stars whose stories intertwine with hers become symbols of light in a world that too often forgets how powerful kindness can be. And as the story unfolds further into the golden twilight of reflection, the rhythm of fame beats softer now. Less like the chaos of flashing cameras and more like the hum of gratitude that fills the spaces between applause. Blake Lively stands at the edge of a film set, her hair catching the breeze as she looks into the distance. Her face calm, her heart steady. She speaks about the beauty of evolving, of learning that fame is not a destination, but a constant unfolding, a dance between visibility and vulnerability. She recalls the early days when everything felt new, when each role was a stepping stone to a dream that seemed endless. Yet she learned with time that the truest rewards were not the awards or the magazine covers, but the quiet moments of meaning when a fan would say that something she did made them feel seen or inspired. She smiles, remembering those encounters, each one a small miracle, a reminder that connection is the real currency of fame. And as the scene shifts, the camera finds Taylor Swift once more standing on stage under the weight of glittering lights, her voice carrying across the crowd. She pauses between songs, speaking to the audience about how we are all just stories in motion, how pain becomes poetry, and misunderstanding becomes music. Her honesty bridges the distance between star and spectator, her vulnerability reminding us that even in her triumph, she remains human. Then we glide into another frame. Zendaya seated in a quiet corner of a set, reading lines, her eyes thoughtful. She talks about choosing projects that matter, about representation as a responsibility, about art as activism. Her calm voice wrapping around the viewer like warmth. She and Blake share that same sense of purpose, that same understanding that fame can be a tool for compassion, not control. The film flows onward to Rihanna, surrounded by fabric swatches and design boards. She laughs bright and unfiltered, talking about her vision of inclusivity, how she wanted to make beauty something everyone could see themselves in. Her joy radiates. She embodies the freedom of self-creation, showing that empire building can coexist with authenticity and kindness. Her laughter blends with Beyoncé's soft hum as she rehearses another timeless performance. Her devotion to craft, a living lesson in discipline and dignity. She speaks of legacy, of creating art that uplifts, of building platforms for others to rise. And her message intertwines seamlessly with Blake's quiet wisdom. Each voice a harmony in the symphony of modern fame. From there we drift through images of international stars, BTS dancing through rehearsals. Their synchronization, not just skill but connection. The way they move together symbolizing unity, their smiles genuine as they talk about spreading positivity to fans who find solace in their music. Their energy transcends language, proving that emotion is universal. Then Blackpink step into view, fierce and radiant, blending strength with grace, their presence on stage electric, their friendship palpable. They speak of empowerment, of staying true to themselves amidst pressure and expectation. Their confidence reminding the world that boldness and kindness can coexist. The camera pans to a montage of artists across the world, African singers whose voices rise like sunlight, Latin American performers whose rhythms pulse with life, European actors who tell stories of truth and transformation, each one contributing to the evolving language of fame that celebrates diversity, compassion, and courage. And as the narrator continues, the tone turns introspective, exploring how social media reshaped the relationship between celebrities and fans, making connection immediate but also more complex. Blake Lively once said that she reads the comments, sometimes not to defend herself, but to understand, to listen. She believes that empathy begins with listening, and through that humility, she turns potential conflict into understanding. The narrator expands this idea, reflecting on how today's stars navigate authenticity in a digital age, how vulnerability has become strength, and how the most inspiring figures are those who share their journeys with honesty and grace. From here, the story drifts into the realm of charity and activism, where fame finds its deepest purpose. We see Selena Gomez at mental health events speaking to young people with tenderness and truth. We see Leonardo DiCaprio at global summits urging action. For the planet, we see Angelina Jolie in refugee camps holding children and listening to their dreams. We see Rihanna funding education and health initiatives across the world. We see Taylor Swift quietly donating to families in need. We see Zendaya partnering with organizations to support underrepresented communities. And in these acts, the meaning of fame transforms completely. It becomes not about spotlight, but about service. The narrator's voice becomes softer, like a lullaby, reminding us that even in a world of glamour, compassion remains the most powerful accessory. The camera returns to Blake, lively walking hand in hand with her family, her laughter echoing against city walls, her children's joy painting the scene with light. She speaks of motherhood again, saying that her greatest role is the one that doesn't come with a script, the one where love is both teacher and reward. She reflects on how family grounds her, how it reminds her to see beyond herself and to value the small, quiet victories of life. The documentary swells with images of human connection, fans meeting idols, tears of gratitude exchanged in crowded arenas, letters of thanks shared, online art created in admiration. These are the unseen moments that form the heart of celebrity culture, moments that remind both sides that fame is a bridge, not a barrier. The narrator says softly that every artist's light reflects the light of those who believe in them, that together they create constellations of hope across the dark sky of uncertainty. And as the music rises again, we see montages of performances, laughter, interviews, red carpets, and candid moments. The screen flickers with the pulse of shared humanity, and once more, we return to Blake. Her eyes steady, her presence luminous. She says that she no longer worries about what people say because she understands that stories will always be told. But what matters is living one that feels true to you. Her words resonate through the air, like a promise, and the narrator adds that authenticity is the quiet revolution of our age, that those who live with grace will always be remembered, not for what they defended, but for what they inspired. The story closes. Part 4 with the glow of sunset fading into night, the skyline alive with 1,000 lights, each one representing a dream, a voice, a story still unfolding, and in that infinite canvas of fame and humanity, Blake Lively stands not as a headline but as a symbol of what it means to live beautifully, bravely, and sincerely in the spotlight and beyond. If you love motivational storytelling, celebrity journeys, and cinematic narratives that feel like a friend talking to your heart, this video is for you. Comment below your favorite celebrity story and tell us who inspires you most. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to never miss more inspiring documentaries.